Welcome, Bricked Up Gaming. We've been a little behind with putting videos out. I'm trying to figure it out. I had some audio issues that I think I fixed. Some sound stuff. We figured it out, I think. Trying a different view, going for the remote dual camera instead of setting the phone up on a tripod. We do got a little bit of a glare with the light above me. It gets dicey with lighting. We gotta deal with the glare, we gotta deal with the shadow. You know, we'll figure out the correct way to do this and not screw this up. We got my pet deck. Maybe the deck I take to the Oklahoma City Regional. I haven't decided yet. I know we got some Mitsurugi coming out, so I might take that. I don't know. Mitsurugi Ryzeal. I don't know. I haven't decided. We're trying to go through it. Drytron has been my pet deck for a very long time. Wow, that glare is ridiculous. Shiny card problems, I know. Drytron has been my pet deck for a very long time. I love Drytron. I'll talk about it in the duel with Porche. That'll be up in a couple days, hopefully. We had some fun duels, fun games. Let's get through it. First of all, I want to talk about the profile. The deck is very similar to Logan JYA, who calls himself the Drykage. I know how the deck operates and runs. I took a lot of inspiration from what he did. I feel that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of those games that people are a resource. The connections you make are a resource. Content creators are a resource. Videos, guides, spreadsheets for some people. And if you're not using them, you're kind of falling behind. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people don't agree. That's okay. A lot of the deck is similar to what he runs right now, and because I really like the ratios and what he does. There's a couple tweaks. Yeah, check him out. Logan JYA, the Drykage. He's smart. He is a demon with this deck. Yeah, good resource. Good resource. So, starting it off, we're going to go names. We've got 3 of Drytron Alpha Thuban. Get the glare not on there, hopefully. Yes, Drytron Alpha Thuban. Need to run Thuban at 3. Thuban's great. Pitch a Drytron, or tribute a Drytron from hand, or field, or Ritual Monster. Summon him, add a Ritual Monster from deck to hand. A lot of the times I'm using it to grab Benton. Benton is great. We'll talk about Benton later. But Thuban, must have 3 of Thuban, as I'm dropping cards. I do call him Thuban instead of Alpha. He's Alpha Thuban. I call him Thuban. We run 3 of Aldiba. Zeta Aldiba. Same thing as Thuban. Very good card as well. Very good for those of you who want to use Google image search. Zeta Aldiba. Very good card. Same thing as Thuban. Want to run him at 3. Very crucial to the engine of this deck. You'll notice this deck is all gas, no brakes. There's not any hand traps. There's board breakers. I feel like if you set the board up well enough for winning the dice roll, you shouldn't necessarily need it. Same effect. All the Dreads have the same effect besides Mewtwo and Ursatron, which we'll talk about. Tribute to Drytron from hand or field, and special summon him from hand or graveyard. Add a ritual spell. This is one of your Meteonis adders. It's great. You need to run him at 3. Yeah, you just need to run him at 3. Probably one of the best cards they've made for Drytron. Mewtwo, Infinite Forbidden Support. Mewtwo is great. Locks you into machine rituals when you use his effect to summon from graveyard. But when you special summon, you get to add a Drytron monster from deck to hand. You can add the rituals off this. They are Drytron monsters. And Mewtwo, common card, super duper good. He's great. Part of a 1-card combo with Nova. You play Nova, special Mewtwo, Mewtwo adds, add Ursatron, get Fafnir, or you can add really whatever else you want. Mewtwo's phenomenal. 3 of Gamma Eltonin. Eltonin's really good. Same effect as the other Drytron monsters besides Mewtwo and Ursatron, like I said. Tribute to summon a monster reborns. A monster with 2,000 attack. A Drytron monster with 2,000 attack from graveyard. He's great. He's awesome if you are at the very end of your plays. You haven't used your normal summon. You can literally go into Vanity's Ruler just off of that, and if you have resources in the graveyard. Here's what gets different from Logan's list. I do run 2 Alteus, Delta Alteus. I mean, the value is nice to draw a card to reveal a ritual monster, ritual spell. It's very good, I think. I don't use it a lot. I'm trying to think of the right words. It's good. I don't like running it at 3 personally because it can get bricky at some point, because you really only need one because you can only use their effect to summon them once. Yeah, it's good. It's nice to get extra resources, but it's not one of the important ones, in my opinion. It's a name. It's a name at the end of the day. The Honorary Drytron, Ursatron Alpha. That is, most of the time, if I go into my plays and I make Moy Beta, which you see Moy Beta in the extra deck already, if I make Moy Beta and I dump, I'm dumping Newtwo. Newtwo brings out Ursatron. If I haven't Nova'd, I'm adding Fafnir off this, the field spell, to get Nova off that, to then continue to combo off. I do run one Beta Rastaban. I've noticed that over time I end up banishing a lot with Dad, who is in the rituals. Yeah, I end up banishing a lot. And if these games start to get grindy, or if I need Mewtwo back, I'll use Rastaban to bring them back to the graveyard, just to get, another name engraved for either Mewtwo or Meteonis Draconids or anything like that. Those are the Drytron monsters. Pretty simple, running every name at 3 besides Rastaban at 1, Ursatron Alpha at 1, and Alteus at 2. I think these ratios have been working great for me. I see a lot of people run Alteus at 3 without running the Beta Rastaban. Moving on to some Drytron Speller Trap. They're great. Nova, phenomenal card. Part of the one-card combo. Drytron doesn't have a lot of one-card combos, but Nova's great. You can go Nova to Mewtwo, Mewtwo to add whichever one you want. Then you can tribute Nova, or you can tribute Mewtwo, special summon Thuban, grab the Benton, Mewtwo special summon summons out, go to Moy Beta, you can dump an Aldabum, pitch, and really do whatever. Or you can go Mewtwo, Ursatron, do the old spellcaster way of doing it, to add the Fafnir. At some point, hopefully you've gotten Benton, get Diviner, Ancient Fairy, boom. Yeah, you can do a lot of cool plays with Nova. Nova's a great card. Needs to be at 3. It's great. We run 2 Drytron Fafnir, the field spell. It's great. It's actually a mini floodgate, because your opponent normals or specials a monster, reduce their level by each 1,000 of their attack. So if your opponent normal summons Ice Rise Zeal, cool. Well, you control Drytron monster. You gotta have Drytron monster. Your opponent normals Ice Rise Zeal, cool. Fafnir, reduce it to a level 3. Well, now they just lost out on that play. They don't get the search of X'd. They don't get the search of Sword. It hurts them a lot because they have Ice. And they can't really link unless they have Donner and a lot of other different plays. But Hidden MVP, which is kind of why I might want to run it at the regional, and I need to run it more, because you can search this off of Ursatron Alpha, and then this branches you into your Nova. So, one of the MVPs is the Meteonis Drytron Ritual Spell. This is a collector's rare. It finally came in the mail. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite collector's rare. It's your Ritual Spell. It's good. You need it. I don't like running it at 2. Running it at 2 seems bricky. Yes, it can get banished, and yes, it can hurt if it gets banished, but at the end of the day, the Drytron monsters are 2k attack apiece. Those are pretty solid monsters. Meteonis Drytron's great. Ritual summon twice a turn if you get it right. You play it, reduce a monster's attack by 1,000, add it, play it again. It's awesome. I left these guys separately because they're the ritual monsters. That's the Drytron spells, by the way. Great. I love the ratios on those. Nova needs to be at 3. Fafnir at 2 is fine. Meteonis at 1 is great. The monsters, ritual monsters. Drytron Meteonis Draconids and Drytron Meteonis DA Draconids, otherwise known as Dad. Dad's phenomenal. Came out in Infinite Forbidden with Mewtwo. Probably the best card in the deck. 5,000, twice per turn monster negate, as long as you have the names at attack and graveyard to do it. Soft once per turn, so you can Dynamondo combo with him to bring him back out again. It's great. Drytron Meteonis Draconids, if you meet the summoning requirements with him, he is not targetable by monster effects, which really hurts Detonator, Ryzeal Detonator. Yeah, we have some good plays with this deck against Ryzeal. I like the matchup quite a bit if you can set up the board good enough. Haven't really had a lot of time to really play it against Ryzeal. Haven't taken it to locals a whole lot. It's hard to go to locals. My locals are about an hour and a half away, but we make time when we can and go when we can. But yeah, I mean, these are great. I've done it one time where I've summoned Dad, reduced Dad's attack by 1,000 until the end of my opponent's turn. Played or pitched Draconids to reborn or make Eltonin come out to reborn something else. Play it. the ritual spell to summon Dad. Now we have 8,000 on board. These two can just wipe somebody. They're phenomenal cards. I don't really use Drytron Meteonis Draken. It's too much for it's a quick effect on the opponent's turn to send monsters to the graveyard, but he's 4,000, 4,000. He's huge. Those are great ratios. The fairy package. It's great. I mean, it's phenomenal. We run the one Vanity's Ruler, a Floodgate. It comes up often. Searchable off Ben 10. It's Vanity's Ruler. Your opponent can't special summon. They need a Veiler, Impermanent, or Droplet, or anything like that. Vanity's Ruler is just great. I like the ratios. 2 Diviner of the Herald. It's great. Dumps it. You can dump your Herald of the Arclight or Entis. Increase the level by 4, which gets you to the Synchro 7 plays, which we'll talk about. Searchable off of Benton. Benton's great. An unsung hero and low-key an MVP of the deck. You pitch Benton, you get a Light Fairy. You can pitch Benton to get Benton to summon and just get bodies on board. Benton's great. We do run one Lancia. We have some in the side deck. This is for the Malice matchups, because this is a Light Fairy. So if you don't know, or you're going game 2 going first, and you go Thuban grabs your Benton pitches to summon something else, you can grab your Lancia off that and just hold that in hand for next turn. And, I mean, you can't really do anything with that with Malice unless they're called by the Graving It, which even then if you do it on their turn. Yes, they can do it because of the order of it and the chain, but if you run more than one, you could do it. Fairy package, it's great. No Natasha in the main. I agree with Logan. Natasha needs to be in the side. I don't know where my Natasha is. We got to find her. Natasha's great as well. Going into some honorable mention Drytron cards. Cyber Emergency, another great searcher, and Foolish Burial. We'll talk about these together. Cyber Emergency to add the Cannot Be Normal Summoner set. You can also add the Ritual Monster off of that, I found out. And the Foolish Burial to dump. This is a great way to get Mewtwo into the graveyard to summon him out that way. And Cyber is great for adding any name besides Mewtwo and Ursa's Alpha. It's phenomenal. It's great. Great Ash target. A lot of the times I do open with that. If I have names, I'll try to bait an Ash or something out to either activate, which we'll talk about it now, either activate the talents, if, depending on where we go, to either rip their hand, draw 2, or take one of their monsters, depending on when we're going. They're great. I mean, it's awesome. We'll leave talents out. We'll move these to the side for now, because I do kind of want to talk about the extra spells we run. We run no traps. I know, it's crazy. We do run the 2 talents. We got 2 Book of the Eclipse to kind of help save us for a turn, break a board if we need to. We run the Dark Rulers. That's great. It's Dark Ruler. I'd like to say if we can get rid of their board, yes, they take no damage, but if we can get rid of their board going essentially on turn 3 for them and they have no resources, that's almost better. Then we can go in for the kill later. We do run the one Called by the Grave. You have to. Ash, Veiler, Mourner, Ogre, Droll, DD Crow, whatever you want to name it. It's great to do that, especially with Dimension Shifter being so prevalent. This deck does do a good job playing through Dimension Shifter. I think, personally, if you play your cards right and end on a Vanity's Ruler, you'll see that in my gameplay with Porche at some point. And then we do run 3 Forbidden Droplet. The way that I look at Droplet, it's great to break the board, obviously, to set up breaking the board. If you don't draw the Dark Ruler, you can swing into their monster and half their attack, and Dad's 5k. Drytron Meteonis is 4,000. Your Drytrons like Mewtwo and Ursa's Alpha are 2k apiece. They're great, and this also gets Drytron monsters in the graveyard from your hand, and you can just keep pulling them out. It's great. That's the spells. That's the main deck. I believe it's 44 cards. I don't know off the top of my head. I believe it's 44, though. I like it. It plays well. Sure, you could essentially brick, but you can get 1 or 2 Drytron names, make a Moy Beta, and keep going. It plays through hand traps extremely well, I feel like. Going extra deck. 2 Moy Beta. Moy Beta is very good. Moy Beta, 2 level 1 monsters. 2 level 1 Drytron monsters, I believe. 2 level 1 monsters. So you can make it with other level 1s. It's a Foolish Burial on summon. It's great. You can use his materials as ritual summon material. It's great. Moy Beta is a great card. I'll say great probably 157 times. It's just a phenomenal card. if you control a machine ritual, is it a Drytron machine ritual or just a machine ritual? While you control a machine ritual, your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control a ritual monster. You can detach a material and negate destroy. Hidden negate destroy. Yeah, it's nice. We do have Fuko, because in the side deck we are running Heartbeast Featherstorm, which we'll get to. I got to tweak the side deck a little bit, but Fuko's great. 2 level 1s make Fuko, and you can just kind of sit. It's awesome, especially into like a Tenpai matchup or anything that's trying to like OTK you. We do have a Downward Magician, so we can make Big Daddy Zeus plays. Zeus is there, because even if you don't... What I like to do is if I don't have materials on Moy Beta and I attack, I'll just make a Zeus. You can't ever complain with making a Zeus. But if it's nice to have materials to go into like a downward play or whatever. That's our XZs. Moy Beta is a great play. I'm making Moy Beta every game if I can. Going into some Link stuff. We have some fun little Link plays. We do have an Anima. Anima synergizes as well because they're all level 1s. I don't think I need to explain that any more than I already do right now, but Anima's great for that reason alone. We do have a Nightmare Phoenix in case we do want to Link climb into Access Code Talker, which, you know, I guess we can talk Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker's there. This deck does put out bodies. It would be a pretty solid Appaloosa deck if Appaloosa wasn't banned, because we can't just put out bodies. It's great. These are kind of there, you know, I don't make them a whole lot. I don't think I've ever made Access Code Talker. I've made Nightmare Phoenix once. The play I normally like to do, we'll make an IP Masquerena. We'll sit on it. If we have Dad on board, we'll use Dad's negates. We'll make Dynamondo. We'll bring Dad back out to have 2 more negates, because he's a soft once per turn. Or if I don't make a Dynamondo play, I go into SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is also phenomenal. It's SP Little Knight. There's a reason why that card was almost $100 for a while before it got reprinted, which is a good reprint. Unless you bought the tins. That sucks. But, pointing to myself. Part of the fairy package, we do run Herald of the Arclight and Elder Entity Entis. Those are diviner targets. They're level 4s. You dump them. We can add the ritual spell or ritual monster. And we can target pop. Or is it non-target pop? Whatever. We pop with Entis. It's great. I love it. They're awesome. Depends on the situation. A lot of times if I have one of the rituals in hand, or if I have the ritual spell, I'll dump Entis to pop something on board, or I'll still do this to get like a Benten or whatever. Synchro 7 plays. Dawn Dragster. Dawn Dragster's great. Gets 300 attack for every level, so it gets 2100, 2000, and reduce the level by 3, spell and trap, negate, destroy, and effect. And then Black Rose. If you go second, you can wipe the board with Black Rose. It's really cool, actually. I made Black Rose a couple times. It's Black Rose. Black Rose is a really cool card. It's nice. It's like a last-ditch effort kind of thing. Like, if I need to really swing the duel in my favor, I'll play Black Rose, I'll pop the board. I can, you know, reborn some resources with the Drytron guys and call it good from there. It's nice. That's extra deck. It's nothing too super-duper fancy, super-duper crazy. We do have some fun little plays with the XZ's package and with making Dynamondo to get more dad stuff. Extra deck, I don't run an extra Medi on this Drytron. The cards I have in the extra deck, it needs to be tuned a little bit. We do have 2 Droll and Lockbird in there. Droll messes around hard in this format, I feel like. I lied, we have 3 Droll. Like I said, I need to go through it. I'm very unorganized with my side deck. We do have an extra Artifact Lancia. Need to pick up a 3rd one. I do like to run at least 2 Thrust in this deck, so we can search Harpy's Feather Duster, Evenly Matched, and D-Barrier. I think those cards kind of speak for themselves. Thrust will search it, and Harpy's Featherstorm, which we can activate with Fuko on the field. Some extra stuff on the side that I added in that's different from what Logan does. I do have a Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. A big 4,000 beater, double piercing. It's massive. It's cool. You can make it pretty easily. And Ceravis. Ceravis is cool. It's a nice little hand trap. I like it. Well, hand trap, hand negate. They target a monster. You could pitch him, and it negates that effect. If you summon him, because you can summon him with this. You just have to do it before you new 2 out of the graveyard with that effect and get locked into machine rituals. But you do that, they go to summon, bounce them back to hand, negate the summon. The sneaky little play that I really enjoy that Logan does is he makes Magic Key, Mech Musket, Beto Buster, and Magic Key Unlocking. Search the unlocking off the Beto Buster. You flip it. Summon from the extra deck. Yeah, Magic Key summon from the extra deck. You can destroy the card. Let me read the card instead of being stupid. I don't play the card a whole lot. I actually just got it in the mail the other day for a 1-cent card. I paid more in shipping for the card. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control a Magic Key Ritual monster or a Magic Key monster special from the extra deck, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy the card. Then declare one attribute, and if you do for that, for the rest of the turn, all face-up monsters your opponent controls become that attribute. That does include any time they summon. So that shuts down a lot of Fiendsmith plays because you can call Divine Beast. And now they're not Light Fiends anymore. They're Divine Beast Fiends. So, yeah. It's cool. It's a fun little interaction to kind of stop Fiendsmith. I do want to add Consecrated Light, I believe is what it's called. My buddy Porche does have one. Consecrated Light's a light fairy we can search. Your opponent cannot special summon dark monsters. Or I believe it's both. Something with that. It's very good into the Malice matchup. We do have good matches into Malice and Ryzeal with the Artifact Lancia, into Malice and the Consecrated Light, into Malice, Ryzeal. I feel like Draconids plays very well into that because it's not targetable by monster effect if you make it the correct way. You just don't use this effect because then you can get negate destroyed with Cross. Other than that, this deck's great. I love Drytron. It's one of my pets. Probably going to take it to the regional. Haven't decided yet. I know Mitsurugi's coming out and it's going to be relatively affordable, I hope. But Drytron's great. We got gameplay coming on the way. Just got to get that video edited and put it up. We got through all the technical issues. Thank you guys so much. Give me feedback down below. Any comments, concerns, questions, let me know. Hopefully this camera worked better. I felt like it did. It felt a lot easier for me to sit here, play them, talk about them, and go through the list. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. We'll see you guys later. Thank you.